Welcome to the Real Voices podcast, where we explore the personal journeys of real estate professionals through their own unique challenges and successes. Real Voices is brought to you by Equitable Title and Escrow, providing a better approach to title and escrow through team support and innovative services. This approach delivers a better experience to both agents and their clients. Welcome to another great episode. We have another great guest with us. We have Christian Wangsgard. Right?
Wangsgard.
All right, got that down right. Hey, appreciate you coming on with us today. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So we were chatting a little bit off camera for a bit. You're telling me that you started off part-time in the industry, but jumped in full-time. Mm-hmm. So tell me a little bit about, first of all, who you're with, what agency you're with, and tell me about why you started off part-time.
Well, so I'm with HomeSmart Realty, and I'm also with a team called the Madrano Group.
Okay.
And so I'm originally from Utah. Okay. I moved down here for the food industry. Basically, I was a restaurant developer, and I just wanted to be in restaurants my whole life because I thought, hey, get free food. I thought that would just be awesome, just getting free food all the time. Turned out to be just crazy hours. Just working from 4 a.m. because I worked with a bakery and a cafe, and we were just working from like 4 a.m, not getting off work till 8 o'clock at night, and it was just horrible. Wow. Was there for a few years, and then my wife and I, we got out of it, both went to State Farm, and I just wanted to do something more with my life. And my wife's aunt and uncle, they're real estate agents, and they said, "You think you'd be a great real estate agent? You should give it a try." And so I did. And but I didn't, it was just scary getting into real estate, just doing something that is your own business. And so I was working at State Farm, the total loss, and then part-time being a real estate agent. And it was just the only times I could work were on the weekends. And I was nervous for whenever that time did come where I had a client and they wanted to see homes during my work hours, and being, telling them no or having to get work off. And so, we just, decided, hey, let's give it a try. Summer comes, let's just have me go full force into real estate. And so for about 6 months, I was just half part-time real estate agent. And then right after that, full-time real estate agent. And just during that time, I was door knocking. Okay. I was holding open houses, and I was knocking the homes in that area and, talking to people. And I got a lot of clients that way. I was sending a bunch of people to a specific lender, and with all the success and all the people that I was sending him, he's like, "Hey, there's this team that I work with, they're looking for people. Would you be interested in joining their team?" And I was like, I was really wanting to do it myself because my aunt and uncle, they do it by themselves. And so I was like, I don't want to give away my commission or anything like that. I was just like, I don't really want to, but I was like, but I don't know what to do with a client once I get one, and that was really scary when that time came. And so I was like, let me talk with them, spoke with them, and with my team lead, Elazar, and, it just made sense for me to join a team. And it's just really, I was from, not working with any clients and just sending people to a lender. And then all of a sudden I'm just, closing deals.
Making it happen. Okay. So you've been on the team for about 4 years then?
For 4 years, yeah.
So what's kept you on the team? I know what brought you to. So what keeps you on the team dynamic and haven't gone off on your own?
Well, because I'm still growing as a real estate agent. So, still, being in the industry for 4 years, I am getting a lot of experience. But having that team atmosphere, like, there's people on my team that are very referral based and they want to do events. And with me, I'm very scared to do events. We're going to be doing like a movie theater event for our clients really soon. Right. And I think if I was by myself as a real estate agent, I would not have done that. And I wouldn't have even thought to do that.
Makes sense.
And then just small ideas that I have, having that team atmosphere, they give me ideas. And so I've actually grown so much faster by being on a team than just trying to do it by myself. And then, the deals that my teammates are closing, I'm learning from the issues that they're going through on their deals, so that when something happens on my deal, it's not this worry of what do I do? It's, hey, this person's gone through it. This is how they dealt with it. And so, it's just a lot less stress being on a team.
Makes sense. So do you feel like you found your forever career? You feel like you're
Definitely. This is it. I mean, really, like, each year I'm always scared that I'm gonna like, for some reason, like it's gonna get worse. I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to produce the same type of numbers as the year prior, the current year. But just every year I've been able to stay consistent. And now I'm getting to the point in my career where I'm not always having to chase that next deal. I'm having now return clients come to me and they're like, hey, I'm looking to sell my house and buy another home. And so, it's been a little bit easier. So yeah, those first few years are a struggle, but now I'm getting to the point where it's becoming a lot easier and I'm able to have those returning clients, which has been great. Right.
It makes sense. The thought is that if you can do it if you can make it for the 3 years, it's usually that fourth year where you start seeing the return clients and things like that. Mm-hmm. So I want to talk briefly about the return clients. Some of the things I talk about with brand new agents is to actually distinguish yourself about early on who you want to work with, because 3 or 4 years later, those people will come back to you, right? Mm-hmm. So just talk to me a little bit. The clients that you worked with in the beginning, are they still those same clients that you're chasing now? Have you changed up a little bit? Who you target, has that changed at all?
I mean, a lot of the time at the very beginning, I was working with first-time home buyers because there were people that I knocked on the door, mm-hmm. and I knocked on a lot of rentals just because I felt like, so I'd knock on rental complexes. Makes sense. So because I just figured, hey, these are people that don't want to stay renting forever. They might want to buy a house eventually. And so I targeted them. And so at first I was targeting first-time home buyers. And then just as the years gone on, I then, I knew how to work with buyers. I knew what the contract and I knew how everything worked. And I'm like, hey, I want to grow and I want to work with sellers. And so I started working with for sell by owners and contacting them and reaching out to them and seeing what I could do to help them. And then just slowly knowing the people that I know, I would send them, comps on their own, being like, hey, just want to let you know, your home's worth this much in this market. If you're thinking about buying or selling, please reach out to me. And so I kind of got into that direction where I used to focus my attention on buyers and holding open houses and finding buyers that way. Now I'm more geared towards looking for sellers who are looking to sell their home. And luckily those return clients that purchased, a few years ago, they're now looking to sell. So it's made it easier to where I'm able to now learn the selling side of the business, which I now got, and I now understand that. So it's just, as you stay in the business, you just keep learning more and more and more. Starting it real estate, it just seems all like overwhelming, but I think it's that natural progression of working with buyers first, and then you start understanding how to work with sellers because your return buyers are coming back to sell.
Makes sense. Thank you. Appreciate it. So I wanted to go back. You say you moved here from Utah, a few years ago, I'm guessing. What made you guys choose Arizona compared to all of the other states in America, right?
Right. So they were only developing restaurants in Arizona at the time. So they're like, hey, this is our next spot. So they were, this cafe was growing big in Utah. And then they're like, hey, we're not going to build any more stores in Utah. We're going to now develop them in Arizona. And so, at that time, I was like, I was kind of free. I was by myself. I was like, yeah, I'll move to Arizona. It's not too far away. And moved down here, and I was opening like all the restaurants down here in Arizona. So I was going from, I started in Ahwatukee, then I went to Surprise, and then Avondale, then Chandler. I was moving all across the valley to help these stores open up, to where I then I had a store in Scottsdale, which I ran and managed for a few years, and it got to be too much. My family life, like if I was still working there, I would hardly see my wife and my kid.
Wow, that's So I guess when I'm thinking about that, because you're like, I was working basically 4 in the morning to 8 at night. Yeah. Has your schedule changed at all with that? Are you still working those kind of? Are you up at 4 in the morning if you need to? How does that work?
No, luckily no. I'm not. I don't have to be up that early. We do have later nights, but it's every once in a while. It's not every single day. And then also I'm working with people who are excited to buy their home. Luckily, my clients have been going through really good situations where they haven't had to have too many stresses. But with running a store in Scottsdale, I was always dealing with people calling out. So I'd work my 4 to 4 shift, and then somebody calling out and saying, hey, I can't come in. So I'm like, okay, we'll have to cover. And so I'd have to work the entire night till 8 o'clock and then have to wake up 4 in the morning the next day. And that was horrible. So now my schedule is, showing clients their homes. And that's enjoyable because I love looking at new homes. Okay. It's really interesting to see, what people do to their homes, and then just seeing the excitement on my client's face when they found the house. They're excited. They're like, this is it. And then just, talking with the listing agent, seeing what we can do to make it work. And so it's really fun being a real estate agent, working with people who are excited to buy their first home.
Cool. Thank you. So just thinking about your childhood, the way you were raised, it sounds like your aunt and uncle were at least a good part of your career choices. As a kid, who did you look up to? Who was that for you?
Oh, wow. I played basketball growing up. And so really, Utah Jazz fan all the way. So I love Stockton Malone. So I just followed them religiously. I had their posters up in my bedroom. And so, basically I was really into sports. Those are the people I looked up to, really. Right. I'd played the power forward, and Karl Malone was a power forward. And so I just idolized him. I was always getting posters of him, and, that's who I followed and who I really, wanted to be like.
Cool. Did you talk in the third person as Malone did?
I did. I was always number 32 playing basketball, and it was just I just idolized him a lot.
Cool. I appreciate that. So I guess in that upbringing and looking to him, did you feel like you'd be a basketball star, or what did that look like?
I always hoped I'd be a basketball star. And then in high school, I was playing the center, the power forward in high school. I played high school ball. But man, that's tough on your body. Like, I know NBA, they play like those long seasons. Right. I was just playing high school ball, and I was thinking that season was long. I was like, my legs were dead. And after that, I was like, I don't want to be doing something where I'm so tired, where I was unhappy, So I did love playing basketball, and I really miss that competitive, nature of playing ball. But I play once a week, and so I'm able to, still play. But, I definitely, that was one of the, happiest times when I was playing ball in high school, and luckily our team was doing pretty well that season. So
did you get to do much in college at all?
Didn't do much in college. Went to college. I had colleges look at me. They were just saying, he's very competitive, he's very aggressive, he's just not tall enough. And I don't think my ball skills were good enough to really be playing wing or anything. Okay. So I just figured, what, I guess I'm done.
Welcome to my world. I'm not tall enough. Yeah, I get that all the time.
Yeah.
I appreciate you sharing that. Thank you. So just coming back to your role in the industry, just thinking about the things that you had to deal with at the store, right? Dealing with customers, with your employees. What are some things, the tools you think you've taken that helps you in your current position?
Well, it's really because I was moving from store to store into different cities. And so I was really able to see, the good areas and the bad areas. I was living in, because they're having me rent different apartments all over I had 3 rental units at one time. At the time, I didn't know I could ask for help from that, but I had 3 rental units that I was renting from that I didn't tell them about. And so that was stressful. But because I lived in different areas all over the valley, I really got to know the areas. When my wife, she grew up in Ahwatukee, and okay. I ask her now, I'm like, oh, what are some good places to go to? And she doesn't really know because, she just kind of lived in her Ahwatukee bubble. That's like all that she didn't drive around the entire valley. And so I feel like that has helped me really understand the area for my clients, being like, so what are good areas to buy? What are the up and coming? Like I know my way around the valley. And so I think that's with that, that's really helped me understand the housing market and know where the good houses are and what areas to maybe potentially stay away from.
Right. That's crucial. Some agents don't know that. So cool. That's great. So you said your wife is in the Ahwatukee bubble. Mm-hmm. How did you guys meet then? Where'd you meet?
So yeah, she graduated from U of A, and she was planning to move to California. She was wanting to make some money before she went out there, and so she got a part-time job at this bakery and cafe where I met her, and she fell in love, and I was able to convince her to not go to California and to stay here. And she grew up within the ranks of that restaurant industry, and she became a trainer, and she was putting in those long hours like me, and we wanted to start a family, and we were just like, yeah, we can't raise a family with us being gone this much, and so we had to make a decision, just start something new. So
appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, family, man. It's those issues that we have to always be juggling and addressing. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we tend to be too much on the end of success and outside of the family and not really paying attention. So thank you. Appreciate you sharing that. So I guess I will ask you, what do you feel like you're most proud of in your life, your short life?
My short life? Well, with family life, I'm really proud of the way that my wife and I are raising our daughter, Lucy. She is just so happy, and she makes our lives so good. Like, just now, she's starting to understand the holidays. So it just started Halloween. She was running from house to house screaming because she was so excited, telling everyone Happy Halloween and trick-or-treating. And, she was just so excited. And just this last week, we were in the mall walking around. She just saw Santa. She was not afraid. She ran to him. And we're like, Lucy, wait. But no, she just sat right next to him and was telling him, I want, Daniel Tiger Jammies. And she was like telling him everything. And it was just, I'm grateful that she's not scared of anything. She's just willing to, and she's just so excited about, because she just had a birthday as well. She just turned 3. She's just excited about the holidays. And so it's made the holiday season just so much better.
That's cool.
It hasn't been feeling like Christmas for me for a while, especially coming from Utah to Arizona. You don't have the snow during the holiday time. And I was just like, this doesn't even feel like Christmas. It feels amazing out here. And I love the weather down here, but just during the Christmas time, I'd love to have some snow. But having that, Lucy's joy of the holidays have just really made everything so excited. With business, what I'm working on right now, I do a lot of social media posts recently. I make a lot of videos. Before that, I was so nervous to do that. Like, I do, hot picks of the week. I do, if you didn't know, now you know, in real estate. I do my top 5 things to do in Arizona this month. And I'm now currently making a parody on Squid Games for real estate version. Okay. So I'm doing a lot of social media content right now, which I was terrified. I didn't like doing it, but I just felt like, this is my next step to help me grow as a real estate agent and to have my sphere know me as an expert in real estate. And just putting myself out there and having me overcome that hurdle has just been really exciting for me. I just feel like it's now opened up more doors that I didn't have because I was scared to do it.
When did you feel like you went from the fear to I'm actually enjoying this? What was that?
It was my first video, knowing how well it turned out. Okay. I was like, oh wow, I can. Oh, well, so I did a video in front of a green screen at one of our lenders maybe a year and a half ago, and I did horrible. And so I was reading the teleprompter. I was just doing really bad, and even they kind of said like, oh, I just really couldn't do it. And so I really had to do things by myself. And so, I got the stuff necessary, and I, started posting about 2 months ago, having video, doing videos by myself. And that's what's helped me, is being able to do it by myself and not having somebody in the room with me watching me fumble over my words. Because then once they see me fumble over my words, then I get nervous even more. So when I started doing that first video and how excited my team was for me, like, this is a really good video, and giving me pointers on what I could do differently, it's just really brought a lot of confidence. And now that I'm doing it, I've been coming up with more and more ideas of what I can do to bring knowledge to the people that I know about the real estate industry, about what's going on in the market, and different things that I could just provide for them to, help them know about things in Arizona,
It's interesting how that works, right? Just once you get going, it feels good. It's not too bad.
Yeah.
Don't feel bad about the teleprompter. These guys could tell you I'm terrible at that thing, man.
I tell you, you can tell that I'm reading.
I like to freestyle, so that's my thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I appreciate you sharing that. It's that's something that I try and help with realtors with, is like, you got to be on video. It's just, it is what it is today. So yeah, it's what you look like. It's what we see.
Exactly.
So it's okay.
That's one thing I wasn't doing with my business, was I wasn't putting a face to the house. Yeah. So people might have seen that somebody's been selling homes, and if they really took a good look, then they might know that it's me. But I was just doing like, oh, home sold, without my face. And now everything, I'm making sure that I have my face and the name, so that they just always remember, if they have any real estate needs, that I'm there, or they have me in mind, because they keep seeing my posts or they keep seeing my videos. Yeah,
I think we forget that we're hardwired to remember faces over anything else, right? That's what so great. I appreciate that. Do you read much?
I wish that I did.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay, well, I get that. I didn't grow up reading, but I picked it up a little bit later in life. But it has to be something I'm interested in. Obviously, I'm just not going to be like, that kind of a reader.
I watch a lot of YouTube videos about what's going on. I do follow people on YouTube, all the information that they give, and that has really helped me with my videos as well. So yes, I don't read, but I'm watching real-time videos of current market education, and so it's helped me to help my clients as well when they have questions, and so that's helped me. Makes sense.
Well, we have all read before. I like to ask, like, is there something you've read in your life that, wow, touched you? Something that could have been anytime, anything that, like, man, that reached me.
Mostly it's just been real estate books. I mean, I have read one, and it's just given me a different mindset of, this is what I could do. I forget what it's called. It's okay. But it gave me ideas of being like, if I have a client that's interested in a particular property, like this is it, then what the book said to do was to just go to that neighborhood and knock on doors and say, hey, I've got a buyer that's interested in your kind of property. Are you interested in selling? That way I can have a buyer and potential seller right away. Right. And so that I'd never thought of before. And once I did that, it was very successful, being like, hey, I have a client right now that's interested in your specific property and willing to get under contract today. Have you thought about selling? And then if they don't, they now have my contact information. I have their contact information to keep reaching out to them and give them market updates on their home.
Awesome. Appreciate it. Well, I appreciate you coming on. It's been great chatting with you. Before I let you go, though, you have a little family there and your wife. So I like to ask, is there something that you harp on with them, something that you're trying to drill into your motto, whatever that is? What would that be?
I guess right now it's been on my mind a lot, is do what makes you uncomfortable, because you're going to grow from it. And that's what I've seen. And the things that make you uncomfortable, you're then going to become an expert at it, and then you can then tackle that next thing. And so, tackling the things that are a struggle for you, you're going to continue to grow, and then it's not going to be a struggle for you anymore. And then you're going to have a new hurdle to get over, and then you're just going to keep climbing. And so just do the hard thing, I guess.
Cool. That's probably going to be the title of the episode right there. We got it right. That's good. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming on. It's been great chatting with you. Where can people find you at? Where can they find you?
Well, they can find me on Facebook, Christian Wangsgard, or they can find me out on Instagram, AZ_realtor_Chris. They can find me there, but and also YouTube. Okay. Don't know what that is, but I know I have a YouTube channel. But Christian Wangsgard probably. Just Christian Wangsgard. But I've got content that I come out with weekly, some type of video. Recently I did, the problems that are happening with Zillow and how that relates to the Arizona market. Each month I do my top 5 things that I like to do in November, or in Arizona this November, and then just market updates. I give that each month, and so just each week I'm coming out with new material.
Cool. Awesome. What about a phone number?
Yep. Telephone number is 801-388-0194. Or you could email me at christian@themedranogroup.com.
All right. Appreciate it, man.
Okay.
Thanks for coming on.
Of course. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.